Good morning. I often do these in the early morning hours, and that's just because that's when I have the time to do them. The days are pretty busy, and sometimes I can manage to do things at other hours, but not always. So, early morning, let's talk. I wanted to talk today about the digital reading opportunities that I afford myself. Now, I know that everyone there may be people that don't, so let me just speak as if maybe that's the case for a second. Amazon, and I realize people aren't especially liking Amazon this year. Amazon doesn't care if we like them or not. They don't care. And it's very difficult to find things. If you can find things and you can, share links and share ways that people can find products outside of Amazon, that is marvelous. Please do so in the comments because we would all love to find those things because we would love to support people. However, there are also real live people who work at Amazon. There are real live authors who work and put their work out through Amazon. And, there are real life families that they got their paycheck because of Amazon this year. And the reason that they can give Christmas to their kids this year is because of Amazon's employment or, their ability to put their shipments, products, be it books or, cleaning products or craft products, just any number of things, that they're offering through Amazon. That's how they got Christmas for their kids this year. So Amazon is a big company. There's always big companies. There's always a company, okay? These days, that's the way it works. But there are very real people. And those very real people are getting paychecks, getting paid for the work that they do, and they're providing for their families. And so just keep that in mind when you boycott something because somebody works with a company. That company doesn't care if you work at them. And if your conscience just can't do it, that's great. But the thing about it is, there's a family. There's little kids who, if their parents lose their jobs because you decided to take the high road, and so their parents lose their jobs. Their jobs, by the way, where they're doing very honest labor, then those kids are going to suffer a lot. So just, there's the spirit of the law, there's the letter of the law. Let's just keep the balance, you know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm going to say about that. But through Amazon, there's a couple of programs, and there's also one that I haven't been able to figure out. So if somebody else is using it, please help me figure it out because I hadn't been able to figure it out. Okay, so there's Amazon Prime, and there's Prime Reading on Amazon Prime. I have not been able to figure that one out, okay? So if you have been able to figure it out, please explain it to me because I don't know how to access those books. But there's Audible, which Amazon has, which is the audiobook opportunity. There is Kindle, which is the ebook opportunity. Kindle is probably the most user-friendly ebook opportunity available. I think Amazon has mastered the ebook market, and they're smart, and they've done an excellent job. There are tons of authors on Kindle. There are tons of authors who participate in Kindle Unlimited. There are so many books on Kindle Unlimited that if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can literally never run out of something to read. Never. You can only have 20 books checked out at a time. And so then, but But here's the kicker. You can return a book and get a new book. And so I cannot be still, can I? And so you have the ability to consistently grab new books, through Kindle Unlimited. You just read a book, turn it back in, and you can get another book. It's constant. And so there's lots of opportunities to read really good books. You can read from a wide range of genres. You can read based on your conscience of what you are willing to read, comfortable reading, or if you don't have that, you can read that way too. It's just a wide range. The Kindle, I'm trying to think, I have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, and I'm trying to think what I pay. I think it's about $13 is about what I pay. I'm rounding a bit here, because I think it's actually like $12.98 or something of that nature. But I'm just gonna say about $13. But with that, there's a wide range of books, and you can support some awesome authors, and you can actually, I find there are tons and tons of excellent books on Kindle Unlimited, and I can really enjoy a lot of books. There's the Audible subscription, which is the audio books. Kindle Unlimited and Audible work together too, which is really fun. By that I mean, some books are, you can listen to them, have the option to listen while you read. But I also mean, for instance, if you have an Audible account and then you have Audible books that you get, those will show up on your Kindle. And if you have a Bluetooth speaker, you can listen to them off of your Kindle. If you have a Kindle that does that, and I think most of them do now. And so that is an option that's kind of fun. Audible is a monthly subscription. You can either purchase a book on Audible without a monthly subscription. You just purchase a book if you want it and you listen to it, or you can get an Audible subscription. An Audible subscription, I'm trying to think, I think that's about $16 a month. It comes with, you get one book credit a month, and so you can spend that on a book, but it also affords you the opportunity to a wide range of books that are included in the subscription, and there are a number of books included in the subscription. And there's some Audible originals that are included in the subscription, and you're able to listen to those. You're able to put them into your Audible library and listen to those. They're really, some of my favorite dramatizations have been created through Audible. And so they come up with some, I'm trying to think, one of the ones I'm listening to right now is The Little Women, and they did an excellent job with that dramatization. So there's so many, and you just like everything, when you start out, you really have to search the authors and titles and things that you like, so that they get an idea of what it is you're looking for, and that does help the right things to show up. I find that the wrong things still show up for me sometimes, but then sometimes I'm surprised when the right things will show up. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I search for what I want anyway. But pardon me. So you have those options. Now, I know that there are a few ebooks available that I know nothing about, I'm not familiar with. There are other people who have put out videos where they have talked about those, and I have to search those out because I'm just not familiar with them. But they're there. So I am only going to talk about the ones I use and I'm familiar with. At one point, I did use Everand. I tried it. I found that the old Everand, which I can't remember what it was called before Everand. It was called something different. Script. That's what it was. It was Script. When it was Script, it was a pretty decent option. You could get a pretty decent amount of books. You could get, the kinds of books that I wanted to access were really available. It was good, and there were not as many limits. For people who stuck with it, they've seemed to have, my experience and what my friend is doing. Um, they seem to have been grandfathered in, and they seem to still have that as their opportunity with Everand. But for those who have not been grandfathered in and they're getting new subscriptions, it's so limited, and the material, like, they just don't have any material that I'm interested in at all. And it's not, I just can't get anything with Everend, and I end up spending a lot of money for nothing, and it just feels like such a huge waste for me, because I can only listen to one book at a time, because I can only use one credit, and everything I want to listen to is a credit. And so all of the, oh, here's all the free books, well, all of those are trash books, that and I'm calling them that because they're books, like books that have content that I just don't want to read, I'm not interested in. They're they have that, I can't remember what month they did this. Was it August that they had that trash book month or something like that, they garbage August, or I don't know what they called it. Anyway, probably they fit that. Anyway, there was a thing that they did, a theme that some of the booktube world did. I just learned about it this year. Anyway, so Everend did not end up being an option that I could do because it just doesn't work for me. It's too expensive because I'm not grandfathered in with all of the old, good stuff. And if they ever get you to update it, you'll be in the new spot with everybody else. So if you just stick with the old one, you're good. You're good to go. But if you go with the new, it's not worth having. I mean, in my opinion, not worth having. It just isn't. I couldn't find anything at all. It was such a waste. I've tried 2 or 3 times because it just kept, people just were like, oh, so good, so good, so good. So I've tried and I failed and spent the money and wished I hadn't every time. So I've given up on Everend. I did, however, learn about Kobo when people were kind of looking for something besides Kindle. I still use my Kindle every day, but I have Kobo now too. Now, I knew nothing about Kobo before, and I cannot believe that I knew nothing about Kobo, because let me tell you, Kobo is an up and coming. It really is. It is, first of all, there are downsides. If I'm going to compare it with Kindle, so at this point, because Kindle has been around a long time, it's very well established. Kindles are less expensive. They're easily accessible. There's also a Kindle app that you can use on your phone. You can use it on a tablet. You can use it on your computer. Or you can use Kindle. You can use their website on your computer. I mean, so you've got options with Kindle. So many options with Kindle. And Kindles are affordable. You can get a Kindle for $100. You can also buy used Kindles, and sometimes you can get a used Kindle for $50. So there are options where Kindle is concerned, only because they're very well established. Well, Kobo is up and coming, and they're going to be. They're very well established. And I don't think it's going to be that long. I really don't. However, here's the thing about Kobo. Kobos are more expensive. I got a Kobo. I spent close to $300 to get this Kobo. And that was, it's a color Kobo. It was, however, not, I think it was close to the least expensive of the Kobos. I think so. But it was in color, which I have found I really love. By the way, Kindle does have a color option now. My Kindle is black and white. I still love my Kindle though. And anyway, the Kobo, they also have an app that you can use. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. They also have an app that you can use on your phone They have an app that you can use. I'm sure you can use the app. I haven't tried it because I don't know the tablet, but I'm sure you can use it on the tablet too. Or you can go to their site on your computer, so that option is available there too. Plus, you can put things on your Kobo. Well, in the Kobo, you can, if you have a Bluetooth speaker, you can listen to books as well as do the e-reading option on the Kobo. Well, so I choose to keep the Kobo app on my phone, and I listen to Kobo all the time, Kobo books all the time. Now they have some Kobo Plus. There's 3 Kobo Plus subscriptions, and this is where I think Kobo actually is ahead of the game of everybody else, because Kobo gives you, there is an ebook only option, there is an audiobook only option, but there is an option for ebooks and audiobooks, and it's like $11 a month is what I pay, something like that. And let me just tell you that for that I get both ebooks and audiobooks, and that beats Kindle or Amazon's like Kindle and Audible. That beats them by far, because I'm paying almost $30 a month. Almost. I'm trying to think, what am I paying? I'm paying 16 plus 13. Please just do the math for me. But yeah, $30 a month for Kindle and Audible. Now I like what they offer, and I can, between all of them, I can usually find the books I'm looking for. It's a rare case that I can't, between all the digital options that I use. But Kindle and Audible together, about $30, versus on Kobo, I can get both of those options for $11. I mean, that's so much cheaper, and there are a lot of options on Kobo. Now, on Kobo Plus, mind you, now the books are expensive on Kobo. They do have deals, but that's iffy. To find the deal, you really have to search. You really have to search on Kobo to find your niche in Kobo. And sometimes you'll hit upon a deal within Kobo, within your niche, and it's wonderful. I have found a lot of books that I like and want to read in the Kobo Plus catalog, but you have to really search those things. Eventually, Kobo, what do they call that? The analytics or whatever, they start figuring you out and they start helping, but it takes a little time. I have found they haven't been entirely wonderfully good with me. At least I've not picked up a book they've suggested to me yet and been interested in it. I might be missing out though. Anyway, Kobo offers an opportunity for less money. I mean, up front it's more because the Kobo machine is more expensive, the ebook reader is more expensive, but month to month it's a fraction. The monthly, if you get the Kobo Plus, the monthly cost is a fraction of what you would be paying otherwise. And the opportunity, the options of what's available, there's so much available. You can enjoy so much reading on Kobo, and you can listen to so many great books. And so I do a lot of listening. They have a lot of classics. They have Christian books. They have cozy mysteries. These are things that typically I have listened to and enjoyed on there. It's been worth it for me. 100% it's been worth it for me. So those are all paid options. Okay, let's get into the not paid options. Libby. Libby is a library app. Now, since the libraries are at risk of losing their funding, I actually don't know how long all of this will be available to people. I feel as Americans we've been cheated because literacy is so important that when you cut the funding to things like the arts, libraries, museums, PBS, when you cut the funding to these things, you limit a part of the education of the American person, and I really don't agree with that. But I didn't get a vote. Nobody asked me about this, and this is something that came up. That was a decision that was made along the road, and nobody asked me up front, hey, what do you think about this? Is this something you would like to do? And we were able to contact Congress about it, but ultimately it was a decision that was made, and I would love to see this changed. I don't know how, I guess I'm going to have to do some reading on how we ever even got all of this to begin with, but this is something we really need to continue to put forward. The ability to read books is very critical to our education as people. Okay, at this point, most people have a smartphone of some kind. Very few don't. Or they have a tablet. Lots of people have a tablet. So you can use the Libby app with the library. You have to go to your library and get a library card. You put the Libby app on your tablet or your smartphone, and then you put your library card number into it, get yourself set up. You literally have the most broad and incredible library right there. You can read books, you can listen to books, and it is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of books, and it's all free to you, and so take advantage of that. I find that the wealth of books that are there, it's never ending. I can go every day and grab a book and listen all day long, because I listen to a lot of books because I work all day, so I can pop a book in and listen all day long, finish that book that day because I work alone, and then the next day I can pop another book in. It's on and on and on and on and on. It's not costing me anything. It is such a great blessing, such a wonderful ability to grab hold of incredible literature, to learn about places, to gain insights about people from good quality authors. It's just an incredible thing. Another one that the libraries offer right now, again, same thing. Who knows how long, is Hoopla. Now, Hoopla has generally, it's the same thing. You set up your account, you can read books, you can listen to books. They also mine, and different Hoopla accounts are different. So my Hoopla also has television programs on it and music on it, but they don't all. My Hoopla gives me 5 credits a month. Some Hooplas, some libraries only have 3 credits a month. It's all in what the library has. So support these, absolutely support these, first of all, because if you are using the library on any level at all, it speaks to the need that's there. So for sure do that. I find that what I do is I first can look at Libby and see if Libby has the thing that I need. And the reason why is because while Libby only lets me borrow 5 things at a time, Libby will let me turn one of those in and check another one out. So there's no limit to how many borrows I can have in a month, as long as I only have 5 out at a time. Where Hoopla, I only have 5 credits for the entire month, and so I have to use my Hoopla for things I can't find on Libby. However, the last week of the month, my Hoopla, I don't know if they all do it, but mine has bonus borrows. And I have been able to find an author or two during bonus borrows that I've really enjoyed, and I didn't know anything about them until they showed up in the bonus borrows. And so those are extra beyond your credits that they give you each month. So these are free services to us. You have to do a little searching on there. You have to learn, Hoopla has its own, way, and so its own personality. So you kind of have to do some searches to figure out, kind of to play around some to figure out the best way to communicate with Hoopla so that you get the searches that you need. I have found you can search by author, you can search by the name of the book. Generally speaking, the author is the better bet for me, unless I'm just not finding it if I'm just not finding it when I go with just the author, I'll go ahead and try the name, and sometimes that'll kick it up. A little extra searching, a little extra playing with it. Hoopla allows me to create a list of favorites, and so as I'm going through, if I see something that I think in the future I might be interested in, I just click the heart and it goes into my favorites list. Then, when I'm looking for something to read or listen to, I can go into my favorites and I can look, and it's already a list of things that previously I thought would be interesting to read or listen to. So that gives me some options. So these are things that I'm using. Now, if you are, going outside of what you just have available in your home, now we have little free libraries where you can go and you can donate books and you can take books from the little free libraries. That's a wonderful thing. We have, and generally people put them out. Sometimes people put them in front of their homes. Sometimes they're in parks. It's just a great thing. You have your public library that is located in your town. Thrift books, thrift stores. Well, thrift books is a great place to go to buy books. And I know, again, not everyone likes thrift books. I don't care. Thrift books is a great option. If you don't like thrift books, that's okay. That's fine. But there are people and families that are supported with paychecks because they work for thrift books. So just remember that. It's the little kids and the Christmas and all that stuff. I mean, those kids got to eat too. But thrift stores have books, and you can get a book for generally, there's a lot of times you can find books for $2, and sometimes even less at a thrift store. Goodwill, it depends on Goodwill. I think the last I knew, their highest ones were $2.50, but still yet $2.50 for a good quality book is a really good price. So, excuse me. And so you can get that book, you can read that book, you can then either put it on your shelf to read it again later, or you can put it in a free library for somebody else to read, share it with a friend. There's just options here. So the excitement of this is that we're not without the options to read. I'm a firm believer in having a personal library. Throughout history, we have not always had the ability to have libraries in our homes. And the very wealthy could have a library, but we didn't always. The common people didn't always. And so now common people can have a library in their home. And I'm a firm believer in sharing books and in having a personal library. And I'm also a firm believer in supporting authors who you want to see more of their kind of work out there. And so my library is being filled with books by authors I want to see their stuff out there. And that is what I hope we're all going to do. So whether you have not a penny to put toward a book and you just really do want to start reading, or you want to and you're able to invest a little bit in your ability to have material readily available, if you are a person that, maybe you need to be able to just have those books readily available right now, or you can wait a little bit and go to town and grab a book, whichever way it works for you. We have options for all of it now. And lest I forget, we also have a booktube community where you can learn about even more books. You can listen to other people talk about books, and you can learn that there are books out there that you never even knew existed. Authors and people who have put forth a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to create something beautiful for you to enjoy. So the options are amazing, and I think I will probably share this again at some point, different. But I just wanted to put this out today, just to these are some options. And if you're coming up on the new year and you're thinking, what is it I kind of want to do? My hope is that one of the things you want to do is you want to read more in 2026, and that you want to create your own library, or you want to avail yourself of the library's resources, or you're ready to finally, purchase that Kindle or that Kobo. And if so, we got you covered. If you have questions, put them in the comments. If I know the answer, I will do my best to answer it. But I thank you for coming to visit today, and I hope that you have a terrific Christmas. I hope that's what's happening. This is it. This is Christmas week, and I'm going to be spending as much time as I can immersing myself into it all. So I pray that you have a really great one. Later.